Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in SmackDown Live. Who needs Raw?
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw.
Oh, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. And you are tuned in to Going In Raw right now. How you doing?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steve and Larson. We're also available wherever fine podcasts are available. In there in that iTunes top 150. We're entrenched, Larson. Every time one of our good friendos out there hits that subscriber download button, an angel gets its wings.
Did you say where we were in the 150?
Oh no, we've been vacillating and oscillating all up and
But
down.
currently
right now in iTunes Sports and Rec category, in the top 150 of YouTube. See, the problem is, of course,
YouTube,
iTunes. I mean, I like to, we have a very distinctive looking logo too.
Yes.
It stands out from the pack.
It
so
does.
I like that, so I can just scroll, and I'm still scrolling. Oh man, did we drop out? Did we drop out? Did we drop out? Did we drop out? Did we drop out?
You just said,
we're at 123.
okay,
We
you said we were entrenched. So if we had dropped out,
that would be, yeah, exactly. It proved me wrong.
you might look like an asshole.
Well, generally speaking, I do. I have a giant too sweet on my shirt, so I probably look like an asshole anyways. But anyways, I want to say thanks to everybody out there supporting the show by listening to it, tuning in, hitting that download and subscribe button, or watching us here on the YouTubes, or doing both.
Yes.
We appreciate it all.
Yes.
And speaking of support, we've got a Patreon, patreon.com/Steven Larson. We surpassed 500 patrons. 500 of you.
That's incredible.
Have opened your wallets or your PayPal accounts or however Patreon works. And you've given to the cause new mics, new cameras, new equipment, new things, better things.
All to improve the show.
All to improve the show. I want to say thank you.
Yes.
I got a new toaster with consistent bread. Look at me.
Let me ask you. Does
Look at me.
this toaster make you more efficient?
Yes,
Okay.
it does.
Okay, then it's
I'm
fine.
not sitting there wondering why the fuck I've got like toasted edges and like untoasted centers. Like, I can focus on wrestling.
Well, you know why that is.
Why?
I think it has less to do with your toaster, maybe. I don't know, but it's just it's easier to warm the perimeter of an Eggo as opposed to the middle.
Easier? What are you talking about?
Because, like,
Are you talking about the mechanics of a toaster?
I'm talking about the mechanics of heating things. Because, like, if you put an Eggo over anything that's warm, the edges are gonna cook faster than the middle.
Listen, man, a toaster is easy. You get two walls
Hold on.
of heat.
You say a toaster is easy? How many toasters have you had before you found this allegedly perfect toaster?
Well, this is a KitchenAid, baby.
That doesn't answer the question. How many toasters have you had previous?
But here's the thing, though. They've all been like these cheapo $15 Walmart deals. This was $79.
Okay.
But the toaster, you think a toaster should be easy? It's two walls of heat.
I understand that, but see, like the edges of your Eggo, there's the edge, but there's nothing up next to that edge that's going to keep it from getting warm. Whereas the center, it's just surrounded by frozen cold stuff, so it takes longer to cook.
Look, I had a picture. I don't know if I tweeted out or not, but I had a picture of me looking at a piece of toast, and like the edge was burnt. And then, like, over here, there was nothing. And over here, it was like a map. It was like the Game of Thrones map.
That was...
half of it was burning, and half of it was like winter had come.
It wasn't frozen, right?
Toast.
It wasn't frozen, right?
No, it wasn't
Okay, let's make it
frozen.
sure.
No. Look, it was a shit toaster. It's
Okay.
perfectly... And
that's fine. You can
it
say
could
that.
be that through years of use, there was all sorts of shit that had built up that was impeding the progress of heat happening.
That could be. I mean, and the heat elements in there aren't supposed to last forever.
No, I know. I'm just saying, it's two walls of heat. This is a pretty easy process. Anyways, my KitchenAid works great.
Let's reevaluate the situation in 6 months.
Oh yeah, that's fine. It's probably still going to be amazing. Talk about 5 years from now.
Okay.
Then I might
How
have-
long ago did you get your previous toaster?
A long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, at least 5 years.
Okay.
At least. Which I don't expect a toaster to last forever.
No.
Anyways, I want to say thanks to all the patrons out there helping me with my consistent toasting abilities. And yeah, there's all sorts of, we got a bunch of people in here listening to this inane conversation right now. 33 people right now.
Can we just do an entire show on toasters today?
If it was
Or toasting.
if it was a shit episode of Raw, I'd totally be down for that. However, it was a very good episode of Raw.
Yeah,
I was very
consistently entertaining.
I was very entertained by Raw. I thought this was definitely the strongest go-home show we've seen in a long time, because regardless of how Raw has been up or down, left or right or whatever, this was a go-home show, and their go-home shows as of late have not been terribly good. So we'll talk about that in a second, but we do want to say thanks to all the patrons out there. I got a rundown. I got a list
to
them
read
all.
off the
I know.
names.
Look, I know you guys probably sit here thinking to yourself, "Oh man, I hate when Steve reads off these names." Although nobody's ever actually said that. I haven't noticed that in the comments. But this is the thing: you open up your wallet to us. The very least you deserve is a shout out at the head of the show, saying who you are. So I'm going to go back to last Tuesday. Let's see here. Some really good names here. I like these names. I'm trying to think. Did we mention Aaron Sexton? I like that name because the word sex is in it. Aaron Sexton pledged $5. Let's see here. D Tucker. I think I remember D Tucker, and that was the day before. Okay. Let's see here. This is a great name. Delonte Hicks. I love the name Delonte. It has such a musical, like when it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Like Delonte West from the Cavaliers back in the day. He hit some hard times. Delonte. It's a good name. Anyways, let's see here. I like this name. Todd Crush. He put in money. Kobe Felt. Nick Taylor. Rob Peak. Henry III. Steve Hardy. Kyle Wilson. Matthew Fitzgerald. Kempton. Reese Dalloway, Michael Cruz, Joe Smith, Gerardo Sanchez, or Gerardo, Oliver Reading, Nicholas Dowhair, what? Chris Shields, Shane Siegel, Dan Severn,
The Beast.
the Beast himself, a man of his stature, put in money. What did he call wrestling? Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse Cartoon Land or something like that.
Hardar Sorlee. Excellence of Flexecution. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Ryan Chaz Owen. Jose Gonzalez. Glorious Heated Pillow. I got a new pillow the other day. Again, thank you, patrons. Namikaze Minato. Kyle Hartman. Kurt Schwuschke. That was a good name. And Jason Burton. I want to say thank you to all you people out there for putting in on the cause, and over 500 patrons. That's fantastic.
Do you know Dan Severn has a website?
So do a lot of people.
I think. Yeah, dansevern.com.
Is it anything like Scott Steiner's website, which is like a GeoCities? Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's amazingly bad. I love Dan Severn though. He's great. Look at him. He wanted to shoot the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I was trying to find that exact quote.
He wanted to go in there. Dan Severn, former MMA fighter,
Yep.
wanted to go into the Royal Rumble and win it himself. I don't think he ever fully
Oh, this is what he
realized.
said.
Go ahead.
Dan, this is a quote from Online World of Wrestling.
Yeah.
Dan Severn is being told to job by road agents at WWE. They can ask me to job. What would happen when I walk into your Mickey Mouse cartoon world and I turn fantasy into reality?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Mickey Mouse cartoon world. That's great. That's fantastic. All right. Raw. Yeah, like we said, really good. I really enjoyed the go. You know, it's whenever they bring out everybody to the top of the ramp.
Yeah.
And they just sort of spell out, okay, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
It felt like everybody, you mentioned this on Machinima's Raw Cap show. It felt like everybody was sort of having fun.
Yes.
But it also just felt that when you come out and you say, we have a plan and this is why we're doing it, and then you have some fresh matchups, like they said, okay, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, you guys are going to team together so that you can build some chemistry, some cohesion.
Yeah, Steph said that right at the beginning of the show, out the gate.
Out the gate.
That last week was everybody's time to blow off steam.
Yeah.
To get the tension out.
Right.
So they can start working together
Yes.
heading into Survivor Series. So this week was the trial run to start working together.
Yeah. And so we had trial in like Survivor Series. This is literally the last show before Survivor Series. They probably should have done this before. But Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, again, this is a really interesting dynamic here. Like we've ended up, it's amazing they didn't take this route with Reigns prior to them trying to shove him down our throats.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, Roman Reigns is working really well right now. I might not love everything he does and everything that creative has him do.
Yeah.
But his program with Rusev, in my opinion,
it was good.
Has done wonders for him and has done wonders for the belt. And I wonder that has to add a lot to Rusev's stock as well.
I would think so.
Because he was such an integral part of that. He still has problems selling, which is, I think, a huge problem for him.
Yes.
But
I still kind of have an issue. Like last night before the match. Well, first of all, here's two things that bugged me about the whole situation.
Okay.
So they're all out in the ramp. And Steph says, okay, Owens and Reigns have a match against Cesaro and Sheamus right now. Mm-hmm. So they cut to commercial. Instead of having all four participants in the ring already, three of them, including the Universal Champion, already in the ring. And then Roman Reigns goes backstage just to come out for his entrance.
They all got the jobber entrance, except for, well, Kevin Owens shouldn't have because he wasn't the jobber.
Well, he's also the Universal Champion.
Mainly because he's a Universal Champion. No, I know. I agree with that.
Either give him all entrances or nobody.
Well, I would say give him all entrances except for the Universal Champion. But at the same time, if you look how they're booked, it's really interesting how they've been able to. And I honestly don't think it's anything. Sometimes they stumble upon success.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do something so often that it just comes off like success.
Yes.
And in this case, it's you have a lower tier belt, which the audience, the universe in general, I don't prize as much as the Universal, because the Universal Champion, it should be like somebody who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's like, I was happy when Finn Balor had it. I would have been fine with Seth Rollins having it. And we were both very pleased when Kevin Owens had it because, like, okay, these are guys that we know can take that and they can run with it. And even in the case of Kevin Owens, when creative hasn't been doing a lot for him.
No.
He can still be vastly entertaining on a week-to-week basis.
Yes.
Roman Reigns is one of those guys who he can't take whatever creative gives him and turn, lemonade into it.
Yeah.
And so for him to have the U.S. title, which, granted, we thought Rusev did a great job with it, but the U.S. title didn't really mean that as much as it does now.
You mean when Rusev had it?
Well, when Rusev had it, it was one thing. But to have Roman Reigns, who's like just coming off the main event, basically, and granted, we know the backstory to all that, but just coming off the main event and then giving him the run with the U.S. title, there's still a million miles between him and Rusev and the rest of the roster below them.
Yeah, well, I think the legitimacy that the U.S. title has now over Reigns' shoulder, a lot of that I think could be attributed to how Rusev carried it beforehand.
Vast majority of it can be attributed to Rusev. I totally agree. But I think the way that they booked Roman Reigns has built on that. I'll put it that way. It's built on that so that you got Roman Reigns out there with the U.S. title slung over the back of his shoulder, and him and Kevin Owens interacting is a very interesting dynamic because Kevin Owens should be the top guy because of that belt, but you have Roman Reigns kind of punking him out here and there, and I think it's for nothing else. It's an interesting dynamic.
Yes.
So we had them set to take on Cesaro and Sheamus. And a lot of people in the Twitter feed over there at Real Going In Raw, which is where we live tweet various events, they wanted to see Cesaro and Sheamus go over. I like Owens and Reigns going over because you need, these are the top two guys in the company they need to go over.
I kind of feel like those matches where they had people, well, I guess in this match, all four participants were involved in the Survivor Series. But I feel like you kind of knew who was going to win those matches, especially those involving the men singles team, because just advances storylines more, and then having Sheamus and Cesaro lose actually advances their storyline more, which wraps in the tag team storyline. So I kind of felt like you knew that, everybody involved in that Raw men's singles team, those matches, they were going to win those matches.
if I had known like that was going to be the match going in, I wouldn't have been surprised. If it depends on like story wise, they could have one of the stories going into Survivor Series could be, man, Raw is so not on the same page. How are they going to pull this out? So I wouldn't have been surprised if somebody said yes.
But I mean, like,
Sheamus wins that.
in all their victories, they tease that there's always dissension amongst the members of the team.
Yeah. But anyways, I thought it was good. I thought it had a fun finish.
Yeah.
We had Owens is always great.
Yeah, that when he was resting his chin on the turnbuckle.
Yeah, it was good. He's one of those guys who he feels so comfortable out there.
Yep.
He knows how to play for the camera, for the crowd, for the story. That's all just comfortability
and experience.
Yeah, you get comfortability via experience. So that was a good match. Owens went over on Sheamus, but that was largely thanks to.
It was pretty much all due to Reigns.
Reigns speared Sheamus and then how did Owens ended up getting? Did he get a bro kick or something?
Yeah.
Okay, he got bro kicked because he was dicking around, and then Reigns gives Sheamus a big spear
and then puts Owens on top of him for the pin.
Exactly. So a lot of good stuff there. We had Chris Jericho and Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. It was announced that they would be taking on the New Day.
Yeah, they had a segment backstage. I think that's what you're leading to with scarves.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that Braun said, "I want yours," and then took it. I was sad that he ripped it up, though. I think it would have added to the comedic value if Braun did something besides tear it up. I don't want him to wear it because that's too comedic and it's not really part of his character.
Exactly.
But
him tearing it up is part of his character.
Yeah. I know. I don't like that, though. He said, "I want yours." Like that alone.
I thought he was going to blow his nose with it.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I know.
That's what I thought.
Too. Or like wipe his beard down with it. So yeah, that was a really entertaining moment. Chris Jericho did some good work there. Chris Jericho is like the AJ Styles of backstage segments. You put him with anybody and it's gold. Instantly better.
Yep. Exactly.
Let's see here. We had Bo Dallas and Sami Zayn. They had a match.
Yep.
What did Sami say in his interview? Because I know they did like a backstage thing like during the pre-show or something like that, where he was like, I don't know, he said something to Bo Dallas.
Well, Bo said that he wanted to be the guy that tried to get the IC title, right?
Right, but does he know that he's a jobber? Like long term, he's a jobber. He doesn't do that. He's not a big enough name. I was kind of disappointed. Is that at the open of the show, Stephanie was like, "Sami Zayn, you get the opportunity to take him." She didn't. Again, it was one of those things where Stephanie doesn't know if she's a heel or a face. Because last week she was running down Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And this week she didn't say it reluctantly. She just said it matter-of-factly. "Sami Zayn, you get to take on for the Intercontinental Champion." And I was hoping that they would sow some sort of seeds for Sami possibly going to SmackDown.
I know.
They did that a little bit in the State of the WWE Universe.
Oh, okay.
And it was just by matter of fact that Daniel Bryan specifically pointed out that Sami Zayn told him he wants to go to SmackDown.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, but yeah, Bo Dallas took on Sami Zayn. There was no stakes involved. It was just a match. But it was a decent one.
Yeah, Sami Zayn went over.
Bo Dallas growing that beard out, man.
He is.
Take him over to SmackDown. Make him quiet.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see here. We had Brian Kendrick addressing the cruiserweights.
Yeah.
This was all sorts of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Because in the back of the crowd and the cruiserweights was... and he was like, "Who's making that noise over there?" And then Sin Cara, bam, took a baseball bat to his head. Just like that. And they kicked him out. Did you hear that, like, part of his punishment? Part of Sin Cara's punishment now?
Is he wasn't... he couldn't take the flight. He was on the WWE charter plane.
He has to go by himself now.
Yeah.
They made him do a 6-hour drive.
I know.
I would think that'd make him happy because he's just sitting there. All he wants. Making those stupid fart noises all he wants. What a weirdo. Anyways, Brian Kendrick was talking some nonsense, and Sin Cara was saying that Kalisto is my partner.
Yeah. And he would make a stronger cruiserweight champion than Brian Kendrick.
Yeah. Sin Cara is just like, he's like, "Look, I've been demoted to SmackDown because evidently that's a demotion, and I kind of want to stay in the cruiserweight division, so I'm pulling for Kalisto to bring me over to SmackDown, to bring the rest of you guys to SmackDown."
They also took some time during the segment to set up possible feuds for Kendrick with Rich Swann,
Yeah.
and Noam Dar,
Yeah.
as well as TJ Perkins. So there's some interesting storyline developments, hopefully, in the cruiserweight division.
I like that. I know they were backstage and everything. It'd been kind of funny if there's like this like ongoing theme where like maybe the WWE is treating them like shit. Like they're in, I don't know, they're in like the very bowels. Like whenever you see the cruiserweights, they're like in the very bowels of the arena. Like not even where the Wyatts are, like someplace crappier than that. They're like in the men's room. Have to be in the bathroom. Or they're like in the back or there's like some porta potties, like outside. That's where they have to wait. Because like they shit on the cruiserweights. I think that'd be funny. I don't even know where I was going with that.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I was waiting to see.
Yeah. Nowhere. Didn't have anything planned. Just started vomiting shit out my mouth.
Yeah, sometimes I just like to sit here when you do that and see where it goes.
I have no roadmap, dude. No roadmap in this brain of mine. Let's see here. Then we have the New Day take on Y2J, Rollins, and Braun. This is a really entertaining match. They're jobbing the shit out of the New Day lately, though. Those guys, they're just losing until they hit that mark.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose the
They
belts.
mentioned last night they're around 450 days with the belts, so only about a month more.
Thank God, man. Give the club those belts.
So what's the December Raw pay-per-views? Roadblock?
Okay, so get this.
What?
They never call Anderson and Gallows the club.
No.
Right?
No.
Right. Okay, can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay. They're coming out with a Christmas shirt. A Christmas, you know, like WWE does like ugly Christmas sweaters now. For the club. Says the club, has the club's logo. Who is the club?
Yeah.
If you're not going to call those guys the club, why are you issuing club merchandise?
Anderson was wearing a club t-shirt last night.
Why? Yeah, well, they still market those things. I mean, AJ always wears the club shirt.
No, he doesn't. He wears his own shirt. Lately he has been.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen Gallows and Anderson both wear that shirt every single week. That shirt doesn't actually say the club on it.
Yeah, it does. On the back.
Oh, yeah. And I know it says it in Japanese over here. Call them the club.
I know.
It's such a cool name. What the heck?
I like that they're booking Braun Strong.
Oh, this would make me so happy. Look at this guy. Let's see here. Yeah, no, they're booking Braun really strong, and it's really awesome.
I know.
I'm telling you, man, and it kind of, I don't want to get my hopes too far up because we've said this before. Those type guys generally don't fare too well. They always get that really strong first push.
Yes.
And then you see like, okay, I'm not putting them in the same category, but they kind of are. The Great Khali, okay? When he came in, they monster pushed the shit out of him. They gave him the world title. They made him a monster. And that's kind of the pattern that the WWE can often goes with. That's the blueprint that they often use for those big monster guys. They push the shit out of them, they crash and burn, and then they're made into a joke.
Here's my hope with Braun. For a guy his size, as someone posted a video on our Twitter.
Of him doing a kip up.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Which is impressive for a man of that size.
I know.
And then also...
It's impressive for any man.
Yeah.
But especially one his size.
Every opportunity they've given him to do promo work and show some personality.
He's done really well. I know.
So those two things, his athleticism and his personality, give me hope that he will have... You know, he has the ability to take this push and really go somewhere with it long term.
In 3 years, make a prediction. In 3 years, who's going to be further along in their careers? Big Cass or Braun? I feel like Braun might be taking some of what they had planned for Big Cass right now.
Maybe.
Because you remember they had Big Cass in that Fatal 4-Way or the the finals for the belt, the Universal Championship. And I feel like I don't know what they're waiting for Big Cass. I don't know. Maybe they just want him to line up all the experience he can.
That could be. I feel like short term, Cass probably has.
There's a good chance a year from now those two are going to be tag team champions.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking necessarily. I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
Oh, I mean, End Zone Cass?
Yeah.
They'll be tag champs within the next 6 months.
Okay, yeah, well, fine, within the next 6 months. I mean, we know one. We know a month from now or 2 months from now it's going to be the club.
Yeah.
So at Mania, maybe they pick up
Yeah.
Cass and
And I think that's part of with Cass. That's part of the deal is that they probably want to get him experience.
Yeah.
But also knowing that he and Enzo are a hot commodity right now.
Yeah.
There's no reason to break them up.
It just makes me wonder, like with Enzo and Cass, it just feels like they have something and they know that it's really good. They just don't really know what to do with it yet.
Yeah. Well, I think they have to bide their time until the tag team titles become available.
And there's not a whole lot for them to do in the tag division.
No.
There's not a lot going on there.
You can just tell they're biding their time.
Yeah. But I hope that ends up translating. So this was a fun match. Like you said, they booked Braun really strong. He's the monster of the entire company, or at least
of Raw. Yeah.
And I like the crowd seemed to be into that idea. I'm into that idea. I love it. And there were some really good bits with Y2J. Y2J and Braun working really well together was a lot of fun to see also. And then Seth was in there in the mix, and then Seth ended up on the outside of the ring while Braun picked up the win. And Jericho and Rollins were getting into it because of that. Then Rollins ended up giving Jericho a pedigree, and I was wondering, is Braun good? But Braun didn't do anything. He just was like, whatever, Yeah. So I like this. I think this is, to me, it's kind of proof that the whole use Braun against a bunch of jobbers, and we got a good video question from Jason the Cabbie coming up in a bit to ask where we go from here. But I like that you can do the thing where he fights a bunch of jobbers, establishes himself as a monster, and at no point do I feel like this. They might have huge plans for Braun, but the biggest problem with what they did with Roman Reigns is that they made it so obvious that this is what they wanted.
Yep.
And that's a recipe for disaster every time out. When you have somebody, and it's funny because it could be that they really want this for Braun. They really want to push him to the moon. But you can cloak that.
Yes.
You can mask that and not make it so obvious.
Yes.
And I wonder if because of Braun's, how his character kind of is playing out, there's not going to be maybe the opportunity for Vince to write him a promo that he thinks suits him. You know what I mean? Because with Roman, he comes off like when you hear him talk, he comes off like a good-natured guy, and Vince obviously wanted to do that sort of snarky, funny guy thing, that too cool for school thing, and Vince doesn't know how to write that. He doesn't know how to do that. And if it wasn't Vince, it was whoever else was writing for him, didn't know how to do that.
Nope.
Okay. But with Braun, he's not that guy.
No, probably the situation that'd be best for him is saying as little as possible. Less is more.
Exactly. Yeah. But then, given the opportunity, the thing is, though, given the opportunity to chew something on bigger promo-wise, I think he could kill it.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that'd be really, really cool.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have to, when he can do a longer promo, just not every week.
Right, exactly. It's totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
So, speak less so your words will mean more
Yep.
when you do. Anyways, those guys got over. Then we had Bo Dallas versus Sami Zayn. Decent match. I like that Bo Dallas is getting TV time, man.
Yeah.
I really like that. So then we already did that.
Sasha and Charlotte had a backstage segment.
I like this. This is kind of fun.
I missed this.
It was decent enough. It was exactly as you'd think it would be. It was Charlotte saying you didn't get this belt, and Sasha saying it might not be with Mia, but it's gonna be one day, and we need to be all on the same page at Survivor Series, otherwise we're gonna lose, and people are gonna look at you because you're the captain. That's it in a nutshell. But they did what they do.
Okay,
they're fine. I think it's gonna be. I hope Sasha lasts another 5 years and then get injured.
Yes.
But once they do, I want to sort of fast forward 5 years when the words that they say have a tad more conviction, because when they're both in promo mode, they have certain rhythm, a certain cadence that sounds promo-ish.
Yes.
And I want to get past that.
Yes.
Let's see here. Then we had the Brian Kendrick taking on Sin Cara. I was really curious. I was like, is this going to be like a punishment squash match.
I thought that too.
And Kendrick kind of dominated. There was never any threat of Sin Cara, but Sin Cara was getting some licks in.
Yeah. The beginning of the match, Kendrick had the upper hand. There was a stretch in the middle where Sin Cara turned the tables, but at the end, Kendrick won.
Who was that character when we used to play? When we were doing, I think it was the initial iteration of Fuck Wrestling. Who was the character? Beef Jerky. I would always try to get over.
Yeah.
And I would lose match after match after match.
Yeah.
Is Sin Cara Triple H's Beef Jerky? Because Sin Cara was a Triple H creation. And why is he still even around?
I thought I read or heard that Sin Cara stole a lot of merchandise.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's the weirdest thing I've heard. That's bizarre. Well, that's a good reason. That's as good a reason as any.
I thought I read that.
I don't know, man. Because he's been around for a while now, and I feel like they just keep on giving him chance after chance, and like other much more like who would pick Sin Cara over Adam Rose if you're gonna release somebody? Adam Rose is fucking money. I loved Adam Rose. They just didn't use him right. That Rosebud thing, I don't know why they didn't treat it like at least an upper mid-card priority.
I know.
Because I thought it was really good. And then they got that stupid bunny suit. It's like
that's where it started going wrong.
It's like, dude, put him in a classic party guy versus uptight heel thing. You know, do that. Yeah, I don't know. Or if you want to get if you want to make him a heel, go really dark with him, you know? Go really fucked up with
The packaging was fantastic.
It was fantastic. It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was a good promo guy.
He was.
Like he was funny on the mic. He had a very he's one of them dudes who had like a very charismatic face and a very charismatic voice, you know? Anyways. So obviously Brian Kendrick went over.
Yes.
I love Brian Kendrick, man. I hope he's going to be around for a little while. You know, I like him a lot. Enzo and Cass and the club had a backstage segment where basically it was Enzo and Cass, when they kill it, they kill it.
Yes.
But when they don't, it's like, what are you talking about?
Their promo in the ring last night was that.
Yeah.
The ladder.
It was. Backstage, it was slightly better.
Yeah.
But because there was some good, whenever they get a chance to sort of banter back and forth,
yes,
it's a bit better. Like, what did he say? Oh, yeah. When Enzo thought Gallows was talking about poop.
Yeah.
He says, we're going to make green. He says, it's not supposed to be green. It's supposed to be like brown. And he said, no, Enzo, he means make money. Oh, yeah, all the dollar bills or whatever he said. Like, it was just off the bat. It was good. It was good. But I don't know. I like Gallows and Anderson. And so they were teaming up against Golden Truth and Shining Stars.
Yes.
No surprise who went over in that match.
But there was an interesting finish.
Yes.
Where the club hit the Magic Killer.
Yeah.
And then they teased a tag to Enzo or Cass.
Enzo, yeah.
To set up their finisher.
Right.
But then they swerve him.
Yeah.
Gallows goes over, pins.
Yeah.
The Shining Star member. I don't remember which one it was.
I knew it was.
To get the win.
I spit in their face.
Laughed at Enzo and Cass.
Who don't want to be cool.
So, you know, are the club going to stab the Raw teams in the back at Survivor Series? I guess that's the question to be asked.
Okay, so my prediction was SmackDown men go over.
Yeah.
Raw women go over.
Yeah.
And SmackDown men go, and SmackDown tag team goes over. Yeah. That's my prediction. What's your? We'll do predictions.
Yeah, we got prediction video coming.
We got prediction video on.
How detailed are we gonna get these predictions? Are we gonna try to predict?
Fuck no.
Order of eliminations.
No, nobody's.
We should at least predict the sole survivor or survivors.
Yeah.
Of each
match.
That's
fine. Yeah, we can do that.
Because I think as of now, there's
a point for the win, a point for this if you get the survivor. Yeah, that's fine.
Do you want to try to predict the first eliminated too?
Whatever you want to do, we'll do.
Okay.
Because I know you like to get into the minutia. And the longer the video we make, the more money we make off it.
The more point-making opportunities, the better chances I get of dominating you in predictions again.
Oh, I know. I got to get that Jeff Jarrett shirt. I'm not getting a Vince Russo shirt. He said some really bad things on podcast. Was it that shitty podcast is?
Yep.
Like he's moved into territory where like it's gone from it'd be funny and ironic to sport a shirt to I don't want anybody ever thinking that I'm wearing this
Exactly.
because I'm trying to support it. All right, let's see here. I thought this was fantastic.
It was.
Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg in the middle of the ring with a wall of jobbers,
Yes.
of Performance Center trainees.
Or it could be local talents.
Could be local talents. Although I thought I saw a thing about the Performance Center. I could be wrong. I'll talk to you about it off camera. But one of the guys that our buddy Rick was buddies with, who was part of the Samoan Dynasty extended family, I thought one of those guys got signed
Oh, maybe.
as a trainee or something like that at Performance Center. And I thought I saw him as part of that wall, which made me think, I wonder if 1 + 1 equals
could
2.
be.
I could be completely off the mark on that one, though. Let's see here. So anyways, it was fantastic, though, because for whatever reason, and you made a good point that Lesnar's been doing MMA commentary. And so Goldberg, sorry. And that's been making him more comfortable in front of the mic.
Yeah.
Because they gave him a mic, and he was spot on.
Yep.
I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah.
Every time Paul Heyman opened up his mouth, Goldberg said, "Shut up." He said, "Paul, shut your mouth. I'm not here for you."
Yeah.
And him and Lesnar were both making crazy faces at each other, and I thought it was fantastic. It was really, really good.
I'm trying to remember what promotion Goldberg did commentary for.
Bellator.
Oh, Elite XC. That's right.
Oh, okay, right. And so he called the Kimbo Slice match. Nice. So anyways, Goldberg, I thought, was spot on.
Yeah, he was great.
Took off his shirt. Looks really good for
Yeah,
a
he does.
50-year-old. I mean, regardless, he looks really good.
Yeah.
But given the fact that he's pushing 50, he looks
Yes.
really, really good. Brock took off his shirt, too.
Yeah.
Did you notice a hint of doughiness?
See, I saw you tweeted about this last
Yeah.
night, correct?
Yes.
I was anticipating this.
Okay.
When I saw it, I paid attention. And I've kind of noticed that in between matches,
Yeah.
I feel like I could be way off base with this. Leading up to the actual match, when he takes his shirt off wearing, like just workout pants, he doesn't look in quite as good a shape as he does on the day of the match.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that?
It hasn't been as pronounced as I realized it last night. I think I vaguely kind of remembered that. Like sometimes, I'll put it this way. Sometimes when I've seen him come out for a match, I'll be like, oh my God, he looks amazing, when I didn't think that before.
Yeah.
But I've never actually thought, looks like a big pile of dough.
I didn't notice he looked any more doughy last night than he had previously.
Oh man, I did. I think he did. It might have been he took a couple of days off from the tan. I mean, he's never been like a tan dude. He's always been a white guy. But I think he seemed even paler than normal. And his skin seemed to sag. Like he flexed his titties.
Yeah.
And like it looked more like it was like an orange in like a plastic grocery bag.
Okay.
Like there was a lot more
Yeah,
flapping going on.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
It was like emptier in that bag.
I didn't really notice anything.
All right. He looked kind of doughy.
Maybe he just should have done some push-ups or something before he came out.
There's some crunches or something because
Yeah.
like his stomach didn't look terrible. But I mean, whatever.
He's
He's still a monster of a human being. I'm nitpicking here.
We'll revisit this conversation on Sunday at Survivor Series.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, no, but all in all, I thought it was a really, really effective thing.
Yes, it was very good.
So like, eventually Paul Heyman, he starts talking about Goldberg's family, which is pissing Goldberg off. And finally he's enough is enough. And he starts tearing through the security guards. And Lesnar rather, steps outside the ring. Paul Heyman scurries out.
Yeah.
And Goldberg is just waiting there. Lesnar takes off his shirt. Goldberg had already taken off his shirt. And Lesnar decides.
He teases getting back in the ring.
Teases getting back in.
Only to leave.
Pulls back. Selling that pay-per-view. Selling that match. Got to do.
Yep.
So I thought that was a really, really well done segment. And I think so much of the credit goes to Goldberg on the mic. Because without that, he doesn't have sort of what Lesnar has, an advocate. He can't come back. He can't intimidate Heyman.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really
it was Goldberg did a really good job of more often than not getting the upper hand verbally over Heyman.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
And his I didn't know that Goldberg's from Georgia, but that Georgia accent came out a couple times, and it was very entertaining. I was like, I wish Goldberg was a bit more Georgia-ish back in his WCW days. I mean, look, 15, 20 years, whatever it is, I mean, that's a long time to be gaining that experience. He's got a kid, so he knows what it's like not to sleep at night. He knows what problems there are in the world. And that always lends to somebody's promo. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
15 years to anybody adds a million more points in your promo attributes.
Okay.
It's true.
No, I'm not.
You disagree?
No, I'm not. I just said okay.
Nothing to add? No commentary of your own?
No, that's fine.
No, nothing? All right. Your promo skills are getting better.
Oh, thank you. Experience.
Exactly. Let's see here.
Charlotte and Sasha versus Alicia Fox and Nia Jax.
Yeah. And Bailey was on commentary, which I thought was thoroughly charming.
Yeah.
I love Bailey.
She's
cute.
great.
Yeah. So anyways, this was sort of, I liked early on when Nia Jax was in, and Charlotte tried to tag Sasha, and Sasha's just like, nope.
Yep.
There's
a lot of really cool moments in this match.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a fun match.
At the end, after Sasha made Alicia Fox tap,
Mm-hmm.
Bailey comes to the ring, gives Sasha a hug, tries to give Charlotte a hug.
Yeah.
Charlotte goes,
Kind of messed up though if you think about it, because okay, Charlotte and Sasha, those two are kind of on equal footing, like they've gotten the best of each other at various moments. But then they team up Alicia Fox, who got absolutely murdered by Nia Jax, and Alicia Fox is like barely even in the conversation of the women's division these days. That's kind of rude. It's kind of messed up, in my opinion. No?
In what way is it messed up?
Because, like, I don't know, she just seems out of place. She seems out of place. Because it's like the big three and then the big four and then everybody else.
Alicia and Nia have a backstory. They had a feud.
Do you want to call that a feud, though? Nia Jax murdered her at every opportunity.
I know. But there's a backstory there.
I'd be like, why are you teaming me up with this person? She completely destroyed me.
And
if I was Alicia Fox, I want to make a statement, I'm walking away.
Also, I don't think there's anybody else on the Raw women's roster.
Well, technically speaking, you're absolutely correct. Like, there was nobody else they could have put in there. I'm just saying, I don't know. They could have done this a different way. Let's see here. Then we had Foley and...
What do you think they should have had Bailey and Nia Jax team up?
No, I don't know. A triple threat, Sasha, Charlotte, and Nia Jax, maybe.
Well, that kind of goes against the idea that they're supposed to be in some way working chemistry together.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying Alicia Fox seems very out of place. And it's a bummer because Team Raw is very... I mean, that's one thing, the statement that Foley was making about the women's division is that, you know, they can lay claim to the strongest... Out of all the divisions, if you look at each of the brands, who has the strongest division versus the other brand? And by far, it's Raw's women's division. I like SmackDown's women's division. It's deeper.
Yes, it is deeper.
But Raw's has more money in it.
Yeah.
By far
Yeah.
more money in it. With those four alone right there, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Nia Jax, and Bailey,
Yeah.
all so much money. And then if Paige ever gets her head out of her ass and comes back and actually does what we know Paige can probably do, she's huge money.
Yeah.
She can be.
Yes.
But she has her head way up her ass right now, Larson. That's all right. I've had my head up my ass plenty of times in my life. Hopefully she'll come through, especially my early 20s. Yeah, not there anymore. Let's see here. Foley and Team Men's Raw backstage. I don't remember this part.
I don't remember that either. Like I'll watch Raw and just make notes about what happened, but I don't really go into any detail in any of these notes.
Were they eating sandwiches back there? What were they doing?
I think he was giving him a pep talk.
Oh, really?
Oh, he was like, the SmackDown general manager and commissioner, Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon are going to be here. He said to him, I want you guys to stick around.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. So they telegraphed what was going to happen.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
But then Foley looked surprised that they show up to the ring. when they came out later. We'll get to that. Sorry, I jumped ahead.
Yeah. Then there was the actual Enzo Cast Club. Yeah, we already talked about that. And then the Survivor Series Summit.
Yeah.
What a summit. You don't never use the word summit on a wrestling show. That's stupid. A summit. A summit's where you go away someplace and you work in tandem on something. This was not a summit.
Yeah, I guess not.
It's not a summit. Whenever you hear like, oh, the president is going away,
I think they
summit
probably
to
use
Camp
it.
David.
They use it because it's alliterative.
Well, the Survivor Series standoff.
But it wasn't really a standoff.
It was more of a standoff than a summit. Mine works better.
They should have did a Survivor Series State of the Union.
No, yeah, okay, that would have probably been better than Summit.
Or
Survivor Series Shindig.
I'll think about it some more.
Survivor Series Live Sex Show. That'd be good. Survivor Series Summit. So Daniel Bryan and Shane. I wanted to say Kane. Daniel Bryan and Shane came out with Foley and Steph. And I just want Survivor Series to be here. I really love to go because everything happened after them talking. And then a lot of you guys out there were like, did you guys watch the WWE Universe State of the Union? And so I popped it on, and my God, I was bored to death.
Yeah.
I fast forwarded to like when we got to I watched it, got bored, fast forward, got bored, fast forward. Daniel Bryan said some things that were vaguely interesting. Just the fact that he said the words TNA or whatever. But it's so awkward. It's so awkward because they just yap at each other back and forth about why their team's going to win.
Yeah.
It's just awkward. But then they were like, here's Team Raw, and they surrounded Daniel Bryan and Shane. And like you said, Foley looked surprised.
Yeah, but why would he be? Because he was the one that told his Team Raw guys to stick around.
Yeah. So I don't know why he'd be surprised. I think he took a lot of chair shots, man.
Did you see him try to do Enzo's dance last night?
That was very charming.
Yeah.
That was very charming. I loved that. That was really good. I liked that when Enzo came out and did his promo on the ramp or was doing his routine, he started doing it directly to a fan.
Yeah.
Like on the side. That was pretty cute.
But let's talk about the showdown between
it was fantastic.
Team Raw and Team SmackDown.
I was so thoroughly entertained. I was so thoroughly tickled. I thought it was fantastic.
Yes.
You had everybody on fire. Kevin Owens was making the case as to why the Universal Championship is better than the world title. And AJ was giving him shit. He said, "You're still suckling at Chris Jericho's sugar tit."
Yeah.
What does sugar tit mean?
I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I know.
Is there a
I obviously
form?
I know what a tit
You know
is.
what a tit is?
Yes.
That's a boobie.
Yes.
And you know what sugar is?
Yes.
Right. Is there a form or a condition whereby a mother is lactating and there's sugary, like the milk is sugarier than normal? Is that what it is? Is sugar tit like another name? Is it like the female equivalent to like a sugar daddy? Oh, okay. A sugar tit is a folk name for a baby pacifier.
It's according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Wikipedia. That must be is it typically said in the South?
I don't know.
Or are we just ignorant?
But that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. That was good stuff. Regardless, putting the word sugar and tit next to each other.
But then Chris Jericho was putting a bunch of people on the list. He put AJ on the list. He put James Ellsworth on the list.
I love that Ellsworth came out. I mentioned this on Rawcap. Bray Wyatt should no-sell the idea of brand loyalty.
I agree.
Completely and totally.
I agree.
There is nothing in his character that should indicate him showing allegiance to anything but
the Wyatt
his own,
family. Yeah.
the Wyatt family.
I agree, 100%.
So him coming out in a SmackDown blue shirt and telling Braun, which I marked out for the moment. I did. I thought it was great because I'm willing to check that logic at the door. But he tells Braun, "You betray me. You're against me now."
And it was great that Randy Orton got in Brave.
And Randy Orton got in his
Braun
face.
Strowman's face.
It was those moments that the brand split are going to be the most important thing about the brands, the thing we look forward to most now is when brands come in. Now they've been apart long enough.
Yes.
And so it's kind of cool when you see it. It gives you a little bit of that Monday Night War feeling when you didn't know who was going to show up where.
Yes.
And that is success. That's job well done on the brand split.
But yeah, Bray should not have been wearing a SmackDown shirt.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if he wants to justify participating because he gets to confront Braun,
Makes sense.
makes total sense. Just wanting to help the brand, help the company, doesn't make a lick of sense.
None.
So, anyways,
There was a Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins during that whole segment, kind of for the most of the show, it felt like kind of got lost in the mix somewhat.
Yeah, I know he did.
But then when he got the mic in the end segment, he started talking about how, if he and Reigns were to work together, like how strong they were, if they were on the same page.
Yeah.
That was nice to hear and see.
It was, and then Dean gets the mic from Bray, and instead of retorting,
he just hits Chris Jericho.
he just starts a fight. So I think that's a big Shield tease right there of some sort.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
3 of the last 4 or 5 competitors are going to be the Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be a moment when, you'll have all Shield. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really have, but,
Well, I mean, if the last 3 are Dean against Seth and Reigns.
That's their biggest, that's out of everybody. That's the biggest story.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing what a huge success the Shield was.
I know.
That's insane. 3 guys in a faction all blowing up the way they have.
I know.
Say what you will about Roman. He's blown up.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think that the whole everybody booing Roman thing is so Pavlovian at this point because he usually wins them back pretty quick now. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Like he does stuff. And I think especially having him be part of the Shield again or associating him with the Shield, I think is going to do a lot good for him too.
Yeah.
So just get rid of that damn vest
Yes.
and have him sell.
And carry the belt correctly.
Are you ready for questions?
Carry the belt correctly.
It's time for questions.
Don't no-sell that. I know you agree with me. How Reigns carries the belt over his shoulder.
Who?
Roman Reigns.
He does what?
First question.
We're going to answer the questions.
Just Adam Mayhem. Do you guys think that the success of NXT is now hurting the main roster overall? You get guys like Sami Zayn, Neville, The Ascension, Apollo Crews, Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, Bayley, Nia Jax, American Alpha, that once they make it to the main roster, it is title or bust in order to be a success. And to make matters worse, they need to be protected, because if they come in and lose, they are doomed to oblivion.
I don't... This is a really good question.
Yes.
It's a really good question because there is some validity to his premise here.
Yes. I don't know if it's title or bust. I think it's interesting storyline or bust.
I think it's getting over or bust. I do because
the Ascension, they were tag champs in NXT for a year. They come to Maine with a terrible gimmick.
Yeah.
And instantly, the crowd just craps all over them.
Yeah.
And they get buried.
But he makes a good point here because at some point you're going to have everybody we already have. Plus, I mean, look, Apollo Crews, that was never going to be title or bust. Apollo Crews was, let's see if this guy can make a strong case for himself in the mid card, and then we'll just see from there.
Yeah.
But they brought him up way too early.
Yes. Yes, they did.
Nakamura, Joe.
Austin Aries, Bobby Roode.
Well, I'm just looking at these one, but Nakamura and Joe need to be title guys.
Yeah.
Aries, to a lesser degree. I don't think Aries necessarily.
Well, do you mean just any title or
I'm
main
talking
event?
about world title.
Yeah.
Because I think part of his premise here is you build up all these guys to an amazing degree in NXT and then bring them over, and if they don't immediately get into the world title scene, it's like Bobby Roode's going to be in the world title scene in NXT very shortly. And when he comes over to Maine, it'll be interesting to see how that translates, how his stuff translates. Now, I personally, we're both huge Bobby Roode fans.
Yes.
I think it's going to go over very, very well.
Yeah.
But on both brands, it is a crowded field.
Yes, it is.
It is well, maybe not a SmackDown.
Bobby Roode would be a perfect fit for SmackDown.
I know.
perfect.
Oh, it'd be perfect. It'd be great. Let's see here. American Alpha. American Alpha is one of those things where who could have predicted Heath Slater and Rhino would have taken all their thunder.
I know.
All of their thunder.
Yep.
All of it. So I would say this. I don't think it's hurting the main roster program at all because it's a great feeder system to the main. That being said, I don't know how to reconcile the fact that, yeah, you got these guys in NXT who you do have in the main title scene. That's why I think Ty Dillinger would be great to go to main after Toronto.
Yeah.
Because he could vie for the Intercontinental Championship and be totally fine.
Yeah.
That's where he probably belongs.
Yeah.
He's like instantly a Dolph Ziggler level guy.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't think of him for the world
Well, and
title.
also because he hadn't held the NXT title, there's no expectation for him to jump into the main event scene right away.
I think if there's anything that's maybe, if you want to say anything about NXT could be hurting the main roster overall program, you could say it's everybody gets a shot at the world title. If you start getting into that pattern, but they haven't really did. They brought Apollo Crews up. He didn't even sniff the world title. Alexa Bliss came out without sniffing the women's title. So I think they're putting the NXT title on people who I think maybe they think have a shot at getting the world title down the line.
Yeah.
And then seeing where the chips fall on everybody else. So, yeah. Alex Foster, what wrestlers would make for the most entertaining mall Santa?
Bray Wyatt.
How's it not Bray Wyatt?
Bray Wyatt.
Bray freaking Wyatt. He'd be the most legit Santa Claus. What do you want for Christmas, little boy?
Michael Cruz.
Why do you want a bike? You trying to escape somewhere?
New patron, official Going In Raw Olympic gold medalist here.
I really doubt that's true.
Well, how would you book a feud between AJ Styles and Finn Balor, with who going over and any new Bullet Club alumni or members making their WWE debut?
A feud between AJ and Finn. I kind of feel like they're good. They've gotten so far away from the whole Bullet Club thing.
Yeah.
That at this point, it'd probably not even. It would probably come up,
but I don't think it's necessary
in commentary. But I don't think at all it would be like a deal. Like
it wouldn't motivate it. It wouldn't motivate the feud. Yeah,
right. Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. I'd be really anxious to see these two mix it up, though.
Yeah.
Retired Dwayne Nix. Is it me, or does it seem like this year's Survivor Series is finally a must-see? I know it's a part of the Big Four, but now after years of disappointment, it feels like it really should be in a Big Four argument.
Yeah.
I agree completely and totally. I think this pay-per-view, in terms of the Big Four, let's see, we went to SummerSlam. That was a decent one. WrestleMania. Was WrestleMania this year good?
It was so-so. Reigns, Triple H.
Oh, that was a crap match. Wasn't
Ambrose
Lesnar? That was crap.
Yeah, the women's match was good.
Yeah. I think this is going to be the best. I mean, the build-up for this pay-per-view has been pretty damn good.
Yes.
You're up.
James Rodriguez, do you think a better ending for Raw would have been for Vince to show up announcing the stakes for Survivor Series and what the winner will receive and have this battle close out tomorrow night?
Nope. Don't need it.
Nope.
I think, look, I'm totally fine with there not being stakes. I honestly didn't even really want stakes in the first place.
Yeah, because every stakes we've heard rumored or that we thought of or friendos have suggested.
Yeah.
It's like in one sense sound promising, but there's always, something that kind of makes us iffy on it,
Nothing really seemed big enough, weighty enough. You get 3 members of Raw. I don't know.
Or like the winning team gets
the last pick in the Rumble.
Yeah.
There was nothing that everybody could come together and celebrate that trumps bragging rights.
Yes.
We're better. The patron formerly known as Danny Lloyd. What are your guys' favorite moves and who did it or does it best? He says he likes a German suplex. What's your favorite move? Mine is powerbomb.
Yeah, powerbombs are good.
And I still say Kevin Nash did it the best. Didn't he? No, not Kevin Nash.
Kota Ibushi's powerbomb's really good.
It's good, but he's a small guy. I like when those big bastards do power bombs and it's slow. It looks like it's in slow motion, and you think that their knees are going to explode.
Kevin Nash, when he did it, he never like there's any torque when he was power bombing on them downwards.
When he did it when he was first in the WWF, it did.
He always looked like, or more often it looked like he got him up and then just kind of let go.
Because you're the only time you're thinking about, the only one you're thinking about is when he power bombed the Big Show.
He did it once and it was really good against the Big Show. And he did it once and he almost dropped him on his head.
I only remember the time he dropped on his head.
I remember once where he did it and he actually kind of got him up.
Nice. Good job, Big Show.
I think. I could be imagining that.
I like the and then the only version of the cutter. No, well, yeah.
RKO's pretty good.
I don't like the RKO. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I don't know why. It's weird, dude. I love the diamond cutter. Don't like the RKO. I have no idea why. The diamond cutter looks like it's in slow motion.
Yeah.
He walks up to a guy.
DDP always had to get, or often had to get a running start before he would do it.
And his run looked like a walk. But nobody ever did the cutter better than Austin. The Stone Cold Stunner is like one of my favorite movies of all time. And I don't know why. It looks so great.
People always sold it for him really well.
They sold it
and
so
I
well.
think that's a huge part of it.
But also the way he kicked their stomach. Everything about it was violence.
RKO's a good move.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's just so boring.
But
Ember Moon's cutter is really good.
Very good.
That's a really good cutter.
So what I like about the RKO is it
Not
can...
the ace cutter.
It can
What about
literally...
mine?
No.
It was my move.
It's Ace Crusher.
Ace Crusher.
The RKO generally, or can be, creatively booked into a match. It can come out of nowhere.
The only time I've seen the RKO really, really impress me is Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great. You're up.
Am I? Yes. Intercontinental Champion Jefferson Nakamura.
I think he actually bought an Intercontinental Championship
Oh.
belt, too, so he kind of deserves the title.
With Survivor Series being too crowded, book Triple H has returned to Raw at the Rumble. Who wins the Rumble?
I think Finn's going to win the Rumble.
If he's healthy.
He'll be healthy.
If
He
not,
said he's not going to be a roadblock, which means he's going to be at the Rumble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's not confirmed. I know he confirmed that he's not going to be a roadblock.
Well, he's been advertised for it.
What's that?
He's been advertised for Roadblock.
Oh, maybe he is going to be. Yeah, but he's not going to. Ooh, maybe he will be. I don't know. Book Triple H's return to Raw at the Rumble. Well, what if Triple H somehow is involved in Seth being eliminated from the Rumble? I like that. Whenever Seth, it could be months and months. This storyline never plays out.
I know.
Just Triple H comes out.
Moseys on out to the ring.
Exactly. Jay Wood. I know you guys want Rusev versus Goldberg for Mania, but is there anyone else you think could put on a good match with Goldberg? His vote is for Braun Strowman. We need somebody that's going to lose to Goldberg because Goldberg needs a win at
Yes.
Mania. Because he's not going to win against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Well, originally I sort of thought Triple H, but that's
Yeah, we both talked about that.
yeah,
But he's gonna be
not huge on
and
that.
he's going to
though.
be busy with Seth.
Who else can eat a pin? The Miz versus Goldberg. Does anybody want to see that? The Miz can handle celebrities though.
Yeah.
He can handle part timers. The Miz Goldberg wouldn't. I actually wouldn't mind the Miz Goldberg.
Yeah, that wouldn't
now
be
that
bad.
I think about it, Miz has proven he can do good things. You're up,
Gerardo Sanchez.
Gerardo.
Hey, new patron here. Thank you very much. With Vince being good friends with Trump and rumors that the McMahons contributed millions to his campaign, do you honestly think Trump will appear on WWE TV anytime soon?
Look, I would love to say no, and I'll probably keep saying no just because half the country is in revolt right now, so it's probably not what's best for business. But it's Trump. I don't put anything past that guy. He is completely unpredictable. He's still tweeting today about the popular vote. He tweeted out this morning.
I know.
He said, if the popular vote was the thing, I'd have gone to California and New York and campaigned and won there. Nobody in California is voting for you, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's see here. That's not look. That ain't personal politics. That's just looking at the facts.
Yeah.
Joshua Martinez, if you were a new WWE signee, who would you choose as your mentor?
Good question.
Braun Strowman. I would say, teach me how to be a giant.
AJ Styles.
Oh, man. I feel like he's you come in and you need various levels. He's final level teacher.
Oh, okay.
So you need somebody to start you off at the beginning.
He's like the graduate level
Yeah.
courses.
I'd say Sami Zayn.
Yeah, or Kevin Owens.
Or Kevin Owens, yeah. Kevin Owens seemed like to be grumpier, though. I'd say Sami Zayn. Because he was in that episode of Total Bells where he was joshing with Daniel Bryan.
What about Daniel Bryan?
He seems like he'd be really sad to be around at this point. And be like, Daniel, you're in a dark place right now. You need to get past that.
Well, that show was shot months ago.
Yeah. Well, it's probably going to be years before he comes out of this, to be honest with you. Devastating blow. No more head trauma.
It's true.
Anyways, you're up.
Gene the Grappler.
A.K.A. Chandler 3 Productions.
Yes. In your opinion, do you think having pay-per-views like WrestleMania or Survivor Series going longer than 3 hours helps or hurts the current WWE product? It makes the major 4 pay-per-views seem like larger events.
Yeah.
But when you take into account the pre-show, that's about 5 hours of wrestling. That's a lot.
It's a lot of wrestling, but like you said, I think more importantly, it makes them bigger.
Yes.
Makes them more important.
Yes.
There's a reason they're the big 4. Now, you start doing that other pay-per-view. That's not good.
Too much.
Too much.
Too much.
Yeah. Eric Basit King Blaha. What do you see in Patrick Clark's future? Career NXT guy? Eventual call-up? Continue his Prince gimmick or go back to Trump supporter? Now is the perfect time to be a Trump supporter.
When we went to that house show, the NXT house show here in town, he was over.
Oh, big over. I love Patrick Clark.
Yes.
And his Prince-inspired theme song was stuck in my head for days.
Yes.
And he's a hell of a mic guy.
Yeah.
I love Patrick Clark. I'm not sure how far he can get in that Prince gimmick. But if it works for him now, then great. I just don't want to see him turn into another Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the ceiling on that. You're up. I think it's KJ from NY.
Yeah, KJ from NY. With all the Goldberg Brock hype, who do you guys think is next in line to take on and even beat the Beast? Well, apparently it's supposed to be Shane versus Brock at WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, Shane's not going to win that, is he?
No.
Wait, okay, let me ask you, though. Vince says, let's do role play.
Okay.
Okay, so originally he called it Taker. Undertaker, I have a question for you. I want you to job to Shane.
Vince,
Yeah.
obviously you're not thinking about my legacy.
Okay, well, I got to call.
Draw 4.
You're not going to do it. Fine. I'm going to ask you a question, though. You think Brock would? You think Brock will job to my son, Shane?
Click. Hangs up.
Oh, hell. Nobody hangs out on me. Who do you think's going to beat Brock Lesnar eventually?
Shinsuke.
It's got to be Shinsuke, right? Or Joe.
One of the two.
Shinsuke or Joe.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of them.
I feel like it's going to be Shinsuke, though.
Yeah, crowd will go huge. Because he's an alien. Who beats a monster? An alien. Alien beats monster. Let's see here. Damon Cruz. You know, that's what the captains were called in Star Trek. I think it's the Cardassians. Damon. Or was it the Ferengi? Damon. It was Ferengi. Their captains were Damon.
Okay.
Damon Cruz. What do you think about... Yeah, I'm a nerd. I don't care. What do you think about Steve Carino being a trainer at the Performance Center? Also, who do you think would make a great trainer after their career is over? I like Carino at the Performance Center. I always like Carino.
Did he get hired on full-time?
Oh, I doubt it. He
didn't
does
think so.
commentary for...
Ring of Honor, yeah.
Ring of Honor, and he's the English commentator for
Yeah, that's right.
New Japan.
I thought he just paid a visit. I didn't know.
I think he just paid a visit, yeah.
Okay.
Which is awesome. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I love random ass people stopping in there. That's fantastic. Wait, did Carino wrestle in WWE during that time when everybody was there?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I think Just Incredible did.
Yeah, Just Incredible definitely did.
I sometimes get like them kind of mixed up. We saw, didn't we? Wasn't it Carino we saw fighting Abdullah the Butcher 20 years ago?
You remember that? I don't.
Who said "Shut up, kid"? Or what was that? He said something to us. We were sitting.
Wasn't the guy's nickname the Gigolo?
Oh, you're right.
And then he was an XPW for a while.
Oh,
he's the guy that lit the table on fire.
Oh man. Well, yeah, but Veronica Kane's the one who doused it, who
Yeah.
drenched it.
Yeah.
Who was the Gigolo? Booyah!
Yeah.
That was the Gigolo.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Wrestler. Probably nobody. Yeah, couldn't find it. Anyways, I think it's great. I thought we had more of a Steve Carino connection though. Who do you think make a great trainer after their career's over? William Regal.
Well, he's already there.
Right, that's right. I am already here. But I've not officially retired yet.
I'm trying to think, because, like, Sami Zayn would be good. Kevin Owens would be good.
Oh,
AJ
yeah.
Styles would be good.
For sure. Yeah.
Randy Orton would be good.
Yeah, he'd be good.
Trying to think who else.
Carmella. I'm literally just throwing out random names.
What about Dolph?
Dolph? Yeah, Dolph would be good. He'd say, look, you're not slamming yourself into the ring hard enough, into the mat hard enough. You need
Sell
to
more.
Sell more. Selling class 101.
Undisputed champion, Marty Too Sweet. So Cena is becoming a part-timer. Who do you think from this current...
Who in this current roster do you think could be a household name like a Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Cena, or The Rock?
Someone who...
Is not a wrestling fan would know who he is.
on the current roster,
Oh,
full-time roster?
that question had you so confused.
Who do you think?
It's all
from
over the
in
place.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Who do you think from in this current roster that could be a household
It's
name?
a mess of a sentence.
Yeah.
Let's see here. But okay, this is a good question, though. Nobody right now. They want it to be Roman Reigns.
Yes.
And it wouldn't surprise me. Roman seems like the kind of guy who they're going to just keep on keeping on until the kids all know who he is. I think he's heir to the throne of the kids know who this guy is guy.
I'm trying to think who has, because what the question is effectively asking is who has crossover appeal in the current roster.
Yeah.
And I can think of a few guys.
Darn it.
I can think of a few guys that potentially have it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they can really make the leap to
Bo
true
Dallas.
crossover star.
Bo Dallas. I've always said that I'll put it this way. I think if he was like 10 years younger and at the place he was right now in professional wrestling, Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
He might be too old, though.
He's in his early 30s, right? He's about the same age as Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but Cena started way younger.
Oh, I know.
You know.
Ty Dillinger.
Bobby Roode. I want kids everywhere to want to be in the executive section. Let's see here. Mitchell Elam. During the first tag match, you could hear KO talking and being entertaining, like telling Sheamus to shut up the whole match. So who else do you think does the little things that you guys like?
Kevin Owens is pretty much the best at doing those little things.
Kevin Owens and Jericho, there's a reason why those guys are together.
Yeah, they're so good at doing those little
Jericho's
things.
always been really good at that.
I'm trying to think of someone on SmackDown who's comparable in that regard. Because Ambrose doesn't really talk much during his matches.
No, Ambrose is boring.
AJ talks a little bit sometimes.
But he doesn't do that stuff.
No.
He's just amazing at his moves. Cena's boring.
Bray will do some talking.
Yeah, but people you can point out. I mean, honestly, Owens does it the best. And,
Yeah.
I mean, by far.
Yeah.
No way, Jose.
Yeah.
Donnie Soares, you're up.
Donnie Soares. I think the Cruiserweights are going to SmackDown Live. Maybe you've spoken about this, but 205 Live going on after SmackDown seems odd.
It does seem odd. Not going to lie. Seems odd.
Unless...
Do you think SmackDown Live is going to get the Cruiserweights?
I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, me too.
Kendrick's had that belt, 3 weeks?
Yeah. Universal Jones. Growing up, Goldberg was my first favorite wrestler for his intensity and domination. Who do you think should induct him into the Hall of Fame?
That is a good question.
Obviously, it's Michael PSAs. The Freebird.
What's the story? He was...
William Regal.
No,
yeah, that shoot match.
I'm trying to remember the story behind Goldberg's discovery.
Bischoff.
Yeah.
It wasn't in like a club.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I don't think Bischoff's gonna be doing it though.
No, I don't think he is either. My initial thing was to say like Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
But there's sort of that weird thing where Kevin Nash didn't he book the streak to end? Or wasn't he involved in that process?
He was involved in the process, but I don't think he had the book.
Yeah.
Until after that match.
Who would induct Goldberg? I mean, they might have to throw Vince or Stephanie up there. Linda. Triple H.
Yeah.
What about Austin?
That'd been interesting.
What about Austin?
That'd be interesting.
Austin could do it.
Yeah.
Because they had a great podcast together.
Yeah.
Where they would talk about how Goldberg was really cool about it because he was like, yeah, people used to get us confused because Austin said the same thing. And Goldberg would be like, I didn't really mind being compared to like the best in the business at the time. He took it as like he was very humble about it, not overstating what his role was.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Eddie Men, should Nia Jax get a different entrance song?
Yes.
No.
I think yes.
I like her song.
It sounds like a pop song.
I know.
She shouldn't be coming out to a pop song.
But listen to the lyrics.
What does she say? What does it say? Does she sing it?
No.
I'm just a sexy boy.
No, it's I'm not like most girls.
She's not a girl. She's a freaking woman. And that sounds like something Katy Perry would sing. That sounds horrible.
Here, let me look up the lyrics.
Don't look up the lyrics. They're terrible. Let's see here. Look, I don't think it's a bad song. I just don't think it fits her.
Yeah, I like the song. I'm not sure if it fits her, to be honest.
The undisputed pizza delivery champion of fun. Like if they did that, what? Go ahead. Did you find him?
Hold on. Oh wait.
Is there a story? Breaking news?
I'm not like most girls who only take just what they're given like a plastic little princess. I think that's the first line.
Yeah, okay, that's not good. Eddie, the undisputed pizza delivery champion of fun wrestling. I'm really behind. Look, that whole thing is gonna be. People are sort of split on fun wrestling, dude.
I don't think there's any split. There is
there's
groundswell
a very strong
support
there's
and
a very
enthusiasm.
strong contingent of fuck wrestling purists.
Well,
I am really behind Braun Strowman. However, I wish they would drop the dumb giant gimmick. The guy seems really personable and has a bright future in the ring. Who do you see giving Braun the rub to get into the main event scene?
Do you know what Nia Jax's theme is called? Force of Greatness.
That's a good name, but that's not how the song sounds. It doesn't sound like a song called Force of Greatness. Who puts Braun over to solidify him as a main eventer? Who does it, man? Who does it?
Well, we have to quickly book his career out for the next 6 months.
I think
6 to 8 months.
He pins Jericho. I think he can pin. I think Roman and Seth are protected. Kevin Owens might be protected.
I'm going to say Rusev.
Oh, yeah. They need to be careful with Rusev, though, man.
Yeah, I know.
You're up.
Patrick Sparks. This is a great question. Things on the state of the universe are getting a bit personal and heated between Mick Foley and Daniel Bryan. It feels real. What is the one feud of each era that felt as real as a heart attack? This is in all caps.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan just called out Mick on retiring and going to wrestle in TNA. Damn.
Nothing else.
Great question.
It's a great question because it's just his inner monologue.
The one feud that pops in my head that felt real was Punk when he was leaving.
Yeah.
The pipe bomb era.
Steiner versus Flair, because I'm pretty sure
that was real. Or Flair and Bischoff.
Fire me again.
Yep. Again, probably because it was real.
Anything in WCW is all shoots.
Yep.
Jamie 10, which NXT tag team or faction do you believe will have the most success when they get on the main roster? And the answer, of course, is the Revival.
Yep.
Although Sanity looking pretty good.
Also, if they keep DIY together as a tag team.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. They're going to do good. And the Autos of Pain.
Yeah.
There's some good tag teams over there.
You know, like after American Alpha and pretty much all their top tag teams left, I think we both were kind of worried about how that division would.
They brought some good names up quick.
Yep.
Yeah. You're up, Haven Elric.
Haven Elric. I honestly can't get behind Finn Balor, parentheses, Demon, as a character. He's a phenomenal talent, but in this day and age of kayfabe sleeping 6 feet under, it's hard to really get into his demon persona. Thoughts?
You're more on board with this line of thought than I am, I think.
Yeah.
Although I'm not far behind.
Really, if you can embody a demon and win, or helps your chances to win, why not do it all the time? I know someone on Twitter said, logistically speaking, it takes forever to do the body paint. Okay. But in terms of storyline...
But in terms of storyline, that can't be the reason why.
Nope.
I'm going to be the demon because I got my makeup guy. I agree with that, and that logic needs to be resolved.
Yes.
It should be every time he's the demon, he loses like a year of his life or something.
Yeah, there needs to be some give and take.
There has to be some
with this demon relationship
exactly.
he has.
Yeah, I agree.
And also, like, his entrance as the demon, I guess, is neat. I'm just not overwhelmed by theatrics.
I personally like when he comes out in his Fonzie jacket. I think he looks cool as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
The mediocre 7 CB Skinner. How long until Braun holds a major title? P.S. He says, Larson, you just got to cut his head off. When we're on the island, look, do you want to eat or not?
I'll forage for fruit.
You're not foraging for shit. How long until Braun holds?
So are we thinking mid-card? Or are we talking world title?
Look, man, U.S. title is up there with the Universal title, so it's one or the other.
14 months.
That's oddly. Like, so what, Rumble? You're saying Rumble next year?
Yeah.
Okay. You're up next. Tajiwaji.
Tajiwaji. With all the fuss about teamwork at the Survivor Series matches, what do you think will be the most interesting potential feuds and storylines to come out of the show? For sure, 100%. After Survivor Series, we'll have Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens feuding.
Yes.
We'll have Seth Rollins and Chris Jericho feuding.
Yes, correct.
Guaranteed.
I really want to know what they're going to do with Braun after the Survivor Series.
Yeah, I'm curious about
Very
that too.
Interesting. Intercontinental Macho Man. I was watching how Sister Abigail should be booked on YouTube, and it sounds like an amazing storyline that could do wonders for Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt. I don't know if that was a What Culture thing. They do that sometimes, but I don't know. Yeah, so anyways, he likes Alexa Bliss, I guess.
Okay.
Not really a question. I don't really like Alexa Bliss for Sister Abigail. I prefer nobody that we know so far.
Yes.
Yeah.
Colin, on a scale from 1 to Authors of Pain, how stiff is this Goldberg versus Lesnar match going to be? I don't see Goldberg taking more than one suplex. I think it's just going to be an almost uncomfortably stiff street brawl.
I kind of in the same opinion. He's not going to be taking 18 German suplexes.
Nope.
Will Fernandez, what are some of your favorite moments from Eddie Guerrero's career? Man, there's like whole giant chunks of phases of his career. I mean, when he was the top guy in the WWE, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, his stuff with China I thought was really cool.
Yeah. His when they first started doing the stuff with him and Chavo in WCW, was all outstanding.
Yeah, it was all really good stuff. He had everything he touched was like gold, man.
Yep.
Except when they decided the custody of Ray's children in a match. It's so stupid.
World Wildlife Foundation champion Adrian Stroop. Oh, he's going to be at Survivor Series and TakeOver this weekend.
Nice.
And Adrian is looking forward to your analysis afterward with Dan the Man.
Dan Nerd Cubed.
What other endeavors would you like to collaborate with Dan on if he had the time?
I had a good time doing that. Doing the GTA.
Oh, the heist video we did with him. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
it'd be fun to get him involved in fun wrestling somehow.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
I'll have to talk to him about that.
Josh Praneta, for this Saturday's NXT TakeOver, what match are you looking forward to?
We got to do NXT predictions too.
We got to do let's do. Well, we can do that all in one video.
Yeah.
Or
do you want to do 2 videos?
I don't know how long we can talk about NXT TakeOver.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be that long.
No.
But we'll talk.
We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it.
We'll talk about it. But we can say, what match are you most looking forward to? For me, it's Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
It might be Revival DIY for me.
That's gonna be a good one,
that
man.
First match at
That's
Brooklyn
gonna
was
be
so good.
So good. Jake Lambert. Does it annoy you that sometimes in storylines, when there's an intense atmosphere between two superstars and they want to throw down, and it comes time to brawl, nothing happens? We got to wait till the pay-per-view. No, because I'm so used to it, Jake, because they got to sell the pay-per-view.
That's how they sell the pay-per-view.
Can't touch each other on the pay-per-view.
Yep. Most powerful dingus in the Friendoverse.
I would curious as to how we can test that.
With Seth Rollins' lackluster performances in the past few months and the lack of faces on SmackDown Live, do you think he would benefit from moving from Raw to SmackDown?
Either him or Roman Reigns, I think, would be fantastic.
Yes.
To move from one to the other, and
yes.
it makes me wonder. I want to see it. I want to see something big happen.
Well, Steph did say
careers are on the line.
Jobs are on the line.
That's why I really feel the Raw men's team is going to lose, and
well, then what they could do is say Sammy beats Dolph for the IC belt. IC belt goes to Raw. Mm-hmm. Raw men's team loses. Raw as a whole loses the best of 3 Survivor Series matches, and Steph can fire somebody. Ends up being Reigns. He signs the SmackDown with the U.S. belt.
That's what I was thinking too. Something like that. Yeah.
But then Roadblock? They were advertising. The arena was advertising Owens versus Reigns for the title.
Yeah. Card subject to change.
It's true.
Kobe Felt. It's your reigning and defending Terra Universal Champion. Kobe Felt here. Will NXT TakeOver be a better show than Survivor Series? I think it's going to be the case where they're both going to be vastly entertaining on their own terms.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can say, yeah, it was. I think Mania this past year, the NXT that preceded it was better.
Oh, yeah.
Than Mania. But I think
I think NXT Brooklyn was probably top to bottom a more enjoyable show than SummerSlam.
Yeah. You're up.
DJ Bryson, going down to your area of California for vacation next month and was wondering, are there any good areas in California that are good wrestling hotspots? There's actually a decent amount of wrestling activity here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Bay Area.
The Bay Area has a lot of good stuff. APW.
Yeah.
Hood Slam.
East Bay Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
So there's plenty. Yeah. Look on their social media, and they should have calendars.
I love that he says, I'm going down to your area of California. I understand that he means your Northern California area, but it just sounds like he's meaning the California is one area. Your area of California.
Oh, no, that's not.
But I know what I know.
That's not how I interpreted it.
Yeah. Anyway, shut up.
You're up.
Steve Alessi. Why have they not pulled the trigger on a Roman Reigns heel turn? I think this is kind of a question that was probably.
Here's your answer. How much merch does he sell?
Yeah, I know, exactly. A lot. And I honestly think at this point we're past that. I don't even really want him to turn heel at this point.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fine with how he's not my favorite guy in the world. I still think he's crap at selling.
At this point, I almost want to see if they can, by sheer force of will, get him over as a face.
SM Recon. Oh, this is yours.
Oh, yeah, SM Recon. So you guys keep saying this Emelina thing is a swerve. Have we said that?
I've said that.
Oh, okay. How is she going to swerve us, and how would you make her relevant again?
Emelina comes out, and she's in a bikini, and whoa, look at that. And then she farts in the ring. And it's whoa, that was nasty. And it's I've got uncontrollable diarrhea, and I'm wearing a bikini. Shit, I don't know. I have a bit more faith in the WWE than them coming out with number one, we all know Em's a really good wrestler. But having her be some swimsuit model character, I think there's going to be something. There's something there that they haven't really.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think this is going to be the thing that we normally see on SmackDown, but we're going to see it on Raw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have faith in this. 14-time heavyweight champion Lou Brickation?
Yeah.
Brickation. I love that. Was it duct tape or Gorilla Glue that kept the co-captain's scarf in place throughout the entire bout between Raw and SmackDown? I didn't even notice that,
Yeah,
but I'll have to go back and watch it because that's pretty hilarious if that's the case.
Dan Olding, if you were to design a wrestling-themed menu, what would you have on it? Chicken Cena salad? Miz kits and gravy instead of biscuits?
Such a terrible... Well, obviously you'd have, the salad with Romaine Reigns.
Yeah.
Romaine lettuce.
Romaine Reigns.
Romaine Reigns, yeah.
Or Roman whole grains.
Yeah, there you go. Dean Ambrosia.
Salad, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrosia salad, that's really good.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, that's really good.
I don't know. I'd have to think about it more.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Is there somebody we can, is there hold on. I'm trying to find a way to say mac and cheese.
Well, I mean, Shano mac and cheese.
That's good. Alex Cartwright with news of HBK and Carino maybe getting coaching roles in Performance Center. Who else do you think would be a good fit? He thinks Bubba Ray Dudley. We kind of already talked about this one.
Yeah, Bubba and Devon have their own wrestling school.
That's right, yeah.
Already.
Cesar Garcia.
So you think Vince and or WWE are pissed about the SmackDown live chants? They were chanting for SmackDown last night on Raw. And Steph said, we're on Raw.
I don't see how, at this point in the game, how can Vince be pissed about anything the crowd chants? He's been around forever.
Well, also, it's not like Vince is backing exclusively Raw.
Yeah, I know.
Glorious heated pillow. Do you think on Sunday we'll see Goldberg's entrance with cops?
With cops. Yes.
You think so?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely we will.
Okay.
For sure. Jimmy Figueroa, what 2 match stipulations would you put together to create a new over-the-top ultra stipulation match? For example, Last Man Standing and Iron Man match to create Last Iron Man Standing, where points from Iron Man match can only be gained from 10 counts. I love that idea.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What about a ladder match, but also a Hell in a Cell match where we have to put the ladder on top of the cell?
Oh, I like that. See, I was gonna say, Hell in a Cell and a pole match.
So the Hell in a Cell is on a pole.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
This is a huge pole you're going to need.
Massive pole.
It's a pretty large
so
pole.
many poles.
Kenny Omega. The WWE just had a couple indie call-ups, so they got Kenny Omega thinking, who should the WWE call up next? I think they should call up Will Ospreay, Martin Kirby, and me, Kenny Omega. Thanks, friendos, and too sweet.
What about a Money in the Sasha Banks match? I don't know how you do that. You put Sasha Banks up on top of a ladder holding like the briefcase? Money in the Banks, Money in the Sasha Banks.
No, I get it.
Get it?
Yeah, I do.
I'm not saying you literally put it in here. I know what you're thinking, and you wanted me to say it, so I said it. What now? Who indie guys should be called up?
Well, I mean, they have to be signed. They have to be sign indie guys to NXT.
Yeah, I like Ospreay. He's good. Martin Kirby.
Kenny Omega is not really an indie wrestler.
New Japan's not a little tiny indie promotion, really?
I don't believe so.
Thought it
No.
was. Adam Cole.
Got to get your Adam Cole reference in, huh?
Adam Cole, baby!
Matthew Potter. Have you guys ever checked out robotic combat shows such as Robot Wars and BattleBots? I used to watch those when the show was originally on, was it Comedy Central?
Sounds right.
Years ago.
I think I watched a couple episodes of that.
Used to watch it.
What a weird question. Robert Sarah Faslanian was really hyped about Zack Sabre Jr. and Noam Dar before the CWC because what culture were saying how great they were. But the only decent match they showed was against each other, and even that was killed with Zack's underwhelming selling. Since then, seeing a couple of their matches on the indies, and none of them are interesting whatsoever. Am I not getting something about this technical style, or what? What did you guys think about it? I was kind of on the same page as that with Zack Sabre Jr.
I agree with his criticism about his selling. That was my one part of his whole his wrestling style that I didn't really like.
Kids need to sell better these days in general.
I thought Noam Dar in their match together was really good.
Yeah, I thought he was okay.
He was good. Really good.
Yeah.
Jeanette Watson. I know that's just floating a rumor, but what if The Miz does defect to Raw? Does this mean that Maurice will follow as a competitor? Maurice wasn't drafted, so I think where Miz goes, she can follow.
If she wants to.
Yes.
Yeah, she just goes where she wants to go. Now,
Yeah.
they're married, so it probably makes her life easier.
Yes.
If she follows him to the brand.
Yes.
Whether or not she'll be a competitor or not, I don't know. I think that'd be like her question is a bit more expansive than this, and that Raw's sort of lacking in that sort of under mid card sort of area.
Maurice hasn't wrestled in how many years?
Very long time.
Yeah.
D Tugger 724. In your opinion, what is the best or coolest way for a superstar to return? Surprise team member, interrupting a promo, run in after a match, or Rumble entry. What's your let's take those 4. Best to worst. I would say for me,
if they're an upper mid card or upper card guy, top would be Rumble entry, because then you think, oh, they're back, they can win this.
for me, my favorite way to debut a guy or for a superstar to return is interrupting a promo with your music.
Yeah.
That's the best way, because everybody's attention's on the ring, and if somebody's music hits, like, what?
Yeah.
So for me, it's interrupting a promo, Rumble entry, surprise team member, and then running after a match. Running after a match is my least one because it has least impact. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
whoa,
agree.
wait, who's that? What? Oh, wow.
How
that's
about
interesting.
run in the middle of a match?
How about running? Like, I remember when they brought out Matt Hardy because of the Edge and Lita thing.
Yeah.
He just sort of showed up backstage and attacked Edge. And at first you're like, who is that? And it was so not effective.
Yeah.
I thought it killed it.
Nathan Gerchow. Scenario here. Somehow at WrestleMania you get stuck with no transport and only $20 to get home. I guess that would it mean home or back to the hotel?
I mean, you're not going to get from
Orlando
to Sacramento on
Okay,
$20.
we'll say the hotel. Which wrestler helps you get home, and how do they do it?
Well, it's not going to be AJ Styles because he locked his keys in his car.
But also fans, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Or was it police?
Wait, what?
When he locked his keys in his car, someone helped him get into his car.
Oh, okay.
But I can't remember if it was he called the roadside service or police or
I don't know.
just some people hanging around the
I don't
arena.
know. I don't know.
Because if it was fans, maybe he'd feel like, okay, I need to pay that forward.
Oh, yeah. Plus, he was a really nice guy when we interviewed him. So I would say AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would want that, too, because I could talk more to him and become his friend. Hello, friend. Chris Kimmel. I saw some sad news that said Vader said he has congestive heart failure, and the doctors said he only has 2 years to live. With that news, should WWE get him in the Hall of Fame this year? They should pony up for some medical assistance, for God's sakes. The Hall of Fame is like the least, like that's the least they could do. Mm-hmm. They should pony up to get him some expert medical care.
Yes.
Vader's rad. You see that car accident he was in?
Yeah.
Rolled his car twice and his head is all banged up, but he's like the toughest dude ever.
I know.
I love Vader. He's great. He needs to be a freaking headliner. Pentagram Peter Pan.
Yeah, I've been listening to you guys for a little bit now, and you guys are great. Thank you. My question is, can you explain the wrestling language such as a babyface, heater, and perhaps more in-depth words?
Okay, so
We can do a whole video on this.
Yeah.
Babyface is a good guy,
a good guy.
a hero.
A heel is a bad guy.
Yeah, the character crowds are supposed to boo.
Yes. A tweener is a guy like Stone Cold Steve Austin who does bad things, but you love him.
An anti-hero.
An anti-hero.
Heat,
heat.
is, well, there's various definitions of heat. Heat can just be crowd reaction.
Well, heat, generally speaking, is crowd reaction.
Yeah.
You get heel heat, which means they boo you.
Yes.
Face
heat. Yes.
A heater is a guy that you're with to elicit heat.
Yes. What's some other, kayfabe.
Kayfabe. Illusion.
Yes, the facade that wrestling is. What happens on TV is real.
Exactly. Shoot. It means real. Work means fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jobber.
Jobber, guy who is there, is enhancement talent. He's
there to lose.
There to lose, make somebody look better. The booker is the guy, the creative control. Of
the guy who has the book. The book sheet.
The book sheet is what they write the matches on.
Yeah. Platinum Patriot. Do you see Goldberg retiring after Sunday?
No, I don't. I think last night he was having such a good time.
He was having fun last night.
And I think as long as he has a good match at Survivor Series, look, he's going to take on Brock Lesnar. That's the toughest match you're going to take. Everything after that's going to be a cakewalk. So I think he's going to have a Survivor Series match, get through it just fine. If he gets through it and he's not hurting too much, he's going to be like, yeah, I could do this again. I want to pick up a win now.
Against Rusev,
Machka, Tyrell Davis. My question is about Roman Reigns' career trajectory. With him as U.S. champ, a lot of people are still down on him, even going so far as to nitpick the guy. He feels like we do it too. I know you guys try to be positive, but it feels like you have something against him. Pick on him.
we don't have anything against him. I don't have anything against him.
My question is, do you think Roman could benefit from either A, leaving for another promotion and coming back, B, going back to NXT, or C, reuniting with the Shield?
No, and no.
Dilly-dallying with the Shield probably helps a little bit because they get...
But not a full-on reunion.
No, not a full-on reunion. Definitely not going back to NXT. We don't pick on them. We just
pick on creative for their mismanagement of his career arc.
We criticize his weaknesses, which I feel can't look. Not everybody can be AJ Styles in the ring.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But you can act like when you're getting hit, it hurts.
Yeah.
You can sell.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do that.
Not very well,
That's
no.
my problem. He doesn't do that. And creative or whoever has decided that damn bulky vest of his is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a terrible idea. Mm-hmm. Vince was writing his promos a while back, and they were crap.
Yeah, they weren't very good. By and large, our criticism of Roman Reigns' character is more directed towards creative. Mm-hmm. Really, the only thing I think we really fault him for is his selling or lack thereof.
Yeah. And here's my thing, too, is that, so for example, on our top 10 podcast this week, when we brought up Roman Reigns, I think, as somebody who shouldn't fight The Undertaker.
Yeah.
I just immediately dismissed him as, that sounds boring. I don't really want to see it. Roman's a crap wrestler. When I currently have a perception of a character as somebody that I think needs some work, and I think Roman's one of those guys, when I'm making an offhand comment just from my gut, oh, Roman, I don't want to see him. He's boring.
Yeah.
that statement right there sounds like I'm dismissive of him or I'm picking on him, but it's just that encompasses everything that I talk about here on the show as well. In that the way he stands right now, in my perception, because of all that stuff, the creative stuff, I find him boring.
Yeah.
And so I'll be dismissive of him in that case, because every time I mention his name, I'm not going to go into detailed account of what I feel about the guy.
Yeah.
So anyways,
DM. You're starting a new job and you have to
down
shadow.
in the DMs.
What?
Slide down in my DMs.
Oh, I just didn't hear what you said. You're starting a new job and you have to shadow someone. Which WWE wrestler do you shadow and what is the job? Could this be any job? I assume this is a job that's not involved in the wrestling industry.
Right. I'm thinking you're working at like FedEx Kinko's, like a copy shop. And then like Bray Wyatt is showing you around the, like, you know, you got the heavy cutter, you got the lamination machine, you got the color copiers. But then like over in the other section, you have all the black and white copiers.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work at Kinko's.
You
So
did?
that's what I'm talking about. There's the aux position. There's the black and white position. Then there's the counter / cashier. And Bray Wyatt's teaching me about all that stuff. That's what I got for you. What do you got? Who's gonna be training you at Toys R Us?
Wow. The Miz.
That answer's too good. I can see that happening. We got some video questions. Should probably answer them.
Yeah, first from Patrick Sparks.
Let's see.
Hey friendos, Pat here. With the UK tour just finishing up, I was thinking, what tours do you think WWE should add to their little list of international tours that they do? And say in this instance you won a sweepstakes to go on any tour anywhere that they went to, where would you want it to be and why? I'd pick the Congo. Let's go do some wrestling in the jungle and shit. Have some apes in there. What do you think, guys? Thanks, friendos.
His question: if you want a competition to go with WWE on any of their tours abroad,
International tours.
yeah, where would you want to go?
Thanks, Patrick. Like, it would be really cool if they partnered up with SpaceX and did like some matches on the moon.
That'd be awesome.
So then I would get to go up to the moon with them. But then disaster struck and our space shuttle blew up and me with it. What would you do? Would you cry?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd probably cry if you died too.
Oh, thanks. Buddy.
Especially if I saw you go up in flames. I'd be like, ah. And then I just think to myself, wait a second. All the money is mine.
And then you'd smile. It'd be tears of joy.
It'd be tears of joy, exactly. Where would you go internationally?
Japan.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Look, man, I'm telling you, not this Tokyo Dome show, not this Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom 13.
Uh-huh.
We should go. Japan.
That'd be neat.
That'd be rad. Another question from Jason the Cabbie.
Good afternoon, Steve, Larson, and assorted friendos of the Grand Unified Friendiverse. It's your old pal, Jason the Cabbie. Raw was rather interesting this week. Almost felt like they just stuck everybody's name on some bingo balls, threw it in a hopper, and that's how they drew out the matches, crafting the story around it. Now, just looking at the comments, a lot of questions about Braun Strowman this week, and so I'm just going to throw another one out there. Because you guys win. I'm on board. I'm on the train now. But now that we've seen what Braun and by extension Nia can actually do in the ring when they're not just squashing people, where do they go from here after Survivor Series? Do they go back to just squashing, just making piles and piles of jobbers until they all coalesce into a giant mega jobber like the end of Akira? Or do they actually do something with them that's, interesting? Let me know what you think.
I don't know. That's a good question about Braun because I don't know. I think Nia Jax probably with Sasha.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the rumors are Charlotte and Baylor are going to have a feud. Where does Braun go after Survivor Series? That's
Do
a
they
big
pick,
question.
Assuming Sami Zayn doesn't win the Intercontinental title.
They pick that back up? That'd be weird, but it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next, Carlos Hackworth.
What's going on, friendos? With Survivor Series coming up, there's a lot of storylines and all that stuff that could be coming out My question to you is how soon before we see the whole Sister Abigail storyline going on, and who do you think will make the best Sister Abigail character? I guess we'll either have to be either Ember Moon or a repackaged Paige. It'll give her something to do and keep her out of trouble. So, yeah, thanks and keep up good work.
Thanks, Carlos. I kind of don't want to see anybody that he mentions Paige and Ember Moon. I don't really want to see anybody we've seen already. With the exception maybe of Nia Jax, because something about that sounds cool to me. But even that, I'm not huge on.
I think our top choice would be
Bray's actual sister.
Yeah.
And then Bo Dallas would come over and they'd be the actual Wyatt
Yes.
family. I think that'd be fantastic.
Yes.
Because she looks like him.
Mm-hmm.
But like a pretty version of him. Like a pretty Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Larson, I think it's time.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready for what? What is it?
Degenerate.
No.
Into something foo.
No, what are we doing?
Kayfabe Corner.
What is Kayfabe
Ultimate Trivia
Corner?
Challenge. It's like the second Ultimate Trivia Challenge. Because like our actual Trivia Challenge is one we do on the SmackDown show.
Yeah, we'll
That's
do that
real
later
trivia.
tonight.
We're going to do that later tonight.
So
I'm ahead on that one.
Yeah, you are. So up for the vote today for this week's theme,
Yes.
Cesaro
Oh, no.
or Sheamus.
Oh, dear.
Guess who won?
Sheamus.
No.
Not surprising, Cesaro.
Yeah, handedly.
So I need to figure out what different names Chris Hero has had.
Yes, pretty much. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
1. Gabe Curtis.
Fake.
Yeah. 2. Zach Blades.
Zach Blades. Fake.
Real.
Okay.
3. Vin Bad.
Vin Bad. That's fake.
Real.
Oh, fuck, man.
4. Matt Wild.
Fake.
Yeah.
Eventually you're going to get to a fake.
5. Kenny Summers.
Kenny Summers. That sounds real. I'm going to say real.
Fake.
Fuck.
6. Brandon Nitro.
Fake.
Real.
Jesus.
7.
Uh-oh.
Vance Hyde.
Vance Hyde. I'll say real.
Fake.
Okay.
8. Axel Mulligan.
Fake.
Real.
I feel like you're just going fake, real, fake, real, fake.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Michael Kelly.
I'm completely lost right now. I'm going to say fake.
Yes.
Okay.
Next, Howard Gibson.
Real.
Fake. 11. Aries Proctor.
Oh, real.
Yep.
Okay.
Last one. The Promise.
Ooh, what a great name. I'll say fake.
Real.
Okay.
Wow, 4.
Real. That was a really good name. That's like tying the low.
Yeah, but you still have 2 trivia questions.
Okay.
You can improve your score here. First trivia question.
Okay.
What year did Cesaro sign his first WWE developmental deal?
2009.
2006.
Bummer.
Next, who did Cesaro face in his first televised Florida Championship Wrestling match?
I will say I'll say Seth.
Close. That was his first match, period.
Ooh.
First televised match was Mike Dalton, today known as Tyler Breeze.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, boy. I only got 4.
So I think I'm up 2.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, I have to do better next week. I don't care. I win this. I'm winning the SmackDown Trivia Challenge. That's a better show anyways.
I can come back. I will come back.
Oh, no. All right. Anyways, I want to say thanks to everybody out there for supporting us.
Yes, thank you very much.
We'll be back tomorrow with our SmackDown recap, the true go-home show to Survivor Series.
Yep.
Yeah, should be fun. Anyway, talk to you guys later.
Thank you. Goodbye.